Alright, what's up guys? This is Brad from Keepers of the River. Doing a little tie for you guys tonight. We're going to be tying the Billy Willie, created by Bill Atkinson. This is a fly that really works well for me in the wintertime. It works well really anytime during the year. What I really like about this fly is that not only does it double kind of as a caddis pupa, but it also, I think, can attract fish, especially in the wintertime, as an egg cluster or a whitefish kind of egg pattern. So what we have in the vise today as far as a hook is we have a dairiki number 135 in a size 16. I tend to use dairiki hooks for my nymphs just because they're a little bit cheaper. I don't have problems with them bending out. Some people complain about that. So you can certainly use a tiamco or a dairiki in the same kind of shape if that's what you wish. So like I said, we got just a scud hook, size 16. What we're gonna do first is you're gonna put a 2.3 millimeter black brass or tungsten bead. It just depends on what you wanna do. I personally don't weight any of my nymphs. I use a weighting system, when I'm fishing, so I just use a brass bead, but you can certainly use a tungsten as well if you prefer to weight your flies individually. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using killer caddis beads in a red color. These are size small. We're also going to be using Senyo's laser dub in black UV. And so to get started, what you're going to do is you're going to put your brass or your tungsten bead up front in black, and then you're going to put 4 of the killer caddis beads right behind that. So I've already got that set on another fly here. So you can kind of see exactly what we're working with. And so what we want to do is you want to angle this hook downwards like this in the vise when you start. We're going to be starting out with A-dot uni thread in red. You can certainly use UTC 70. That's what I tend to use for most of my patterns. I feel like the A-dot is a little bit thinner, a little bit more applicable to this pattern. So like I said, you want to angle this downwards, and to keep these beads on here, you're going to start your thread and make a few wraps back. And we're going to make a little ball of thread a little ways down on the hook bend, so we can still save a little bit of room between our black bead and our red beads, because you're going to want to add a little bit of dubbing there at the end of the pattern. So make sure that you leave a little bit of room for those beads to slide back a little bit. So what we're going to do here is, like I said, create yourself just a little ball. It doesn't have to be too much. And then what we're going to do after you do a little thread ball is we're going to whip finish. 3 or 4 turn whip finish. If you want here, for the tying purposes of this video, I'm not going to do it, but usually what I like to do here is use a little bit of Loon UV flow at the back of this, and that kind of just keeps these thread wraps together. So after you make this little ball right back here with your thread, you can reorientate your hook in the vise. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to A-dot uni and black, and we're going to start back and just start our thread between the red beads and the black tungsten bead or brass bead up top. Once again, that black bead is a 2.3 millimeter. So just start your thread there, and then this is where we're going to start with our Senyo's laser dub. What this does is just kind of create a little veil behind that black bead. You can also tie this bead, or you can also tie this fly without the black bead at the front. I know that there's quite a few people who prefer the fly without a black bead. I like it with the black bead. It fishes well for me, but I've also had just about the same amount of luck without the bead up front too. You would just create a little teeny thread head after you put your dubbing on. So we're just going to take a small little pinch. This doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to be tidy. You just got to get some of this Senyo laser dub in between these. Just going to wrap it up, make it nice, and it can be nice and bushy. You don't have to worry about that. once you're done, kind of peel that laser dub back, and you're just going to whip finish behind this bead here, or if you don't have a bead, create a little thread head and secure your senyo's laser dub. So 3 or 4 turn whip finish. Snip your tying thread there. And then what you can do here is, make sure any of this, erroneous kind of stuff is kind of clipped away. What I like to do is use a little bit of Velcro and pick this out. The laser dub, it's not necessarily, something you have to do because it's already a pretty buggy dubbing anyways. But you can just see how simple of a fly this is. And this absolutely just kills winter trout. It's a great pattern, super easy to tie. You can whip a bunch of them up in a night. This fly really works well for me on the Boise River in town, but especially it works really well for me on the South Fork of the Boise below Anderson Ranch Dam. It's a killer pattern. Will work anywhere trout are at and where caddis are at, or even as an egg pattern you can see there. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out at keepersoftheriver.wordpress.com. The beginning of the year will just be keepersoftheriver.com, so keep staying tuned for more fly tying videos, and thanks for watching.